Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Passionate Kelsey and today we are doing a tutorial on this solid Picot triangle bandana. I do hope you enjoy, so let's go ahead and get started. For this tutorial we're going to need a few things. So first you're going to want to start with your yarn. I am going to be using Mainstays 100% cotton yarn. Basically, you could use whatever yarn you want or that you have. I would just make sure that it is a 4 weight, which is a worsted medium. And then I would also just kind of pick something that will be soft against your hair since this is going to go around your head. So in general, any yarn is fine. I am going to be using cotton and make sure it is a 4 weight. For the hook, we are going to need a 5mm crochet hook. We're going to need some scissors as well as a yarn needle. Once you have all of this gathered, let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to want to do is make a slip knot in your yarn, just like how you normally would to start any other project. Put your hook in there and tighten it up. From here, we are going to chain 2. In the first chain, right here, I am going to start with a stacked single crochet. And that is going to count as a double crochet. So if you haven't done a stacked single crochet before, basically just go into your first stitch, do a regular single crochet. And then from here, we are going to go into the front leg of your single crochet that we just did. This loop right here, go through there, and we are going to do another regular single crochet. So I'll just yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and there you go. You've done a stacked single crochet. This counts as our first double crochet. So from here in the same stitch, the first chain, we are going to do 2 more double crochets. There's 1 and 2. Now we are going to make the point of our triangle, so I'm going to chain 2. Next, I want to do 3 more double crochets right into that same spot. So I'll yarn over and go into the same hole, do 3 more double crochets. There we go. We have our first row done. Now I'm going to turn the work. And we'll start working on row number 2. So from here, I am going to start this row again with a stacked single crochet, and that is going to count as my first double crochet of the row. So I am just going to go into my first stitch here. I'm not chaining 1 just because I don't chain 1 in between rows of single crochet, but if you would like to, you can do a chain. It doesn't make that big of a difference. Anyway, I am going to go into my first stitch, do a regular single crochet. I want to do a stacked single crochet, so I'll go into that front loop there, do another single crochet, and there we go. That counts as my first double crochet of the row. So now I'm going to continue. I'm going to do another double crochet into that same stitch. So we'll have 2 in the first one. There we go. 2 double crochets in your first stitch. Now I'm going to continue up the row until I get to my chain 2 space in the middle. So I'll go into this stitch with a double crochet. Go into this stitch next with another double crochet. And now we are at our chain 2 space. Inside the chain 2 space, you're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets to make a little corner. So like I said, we're going to go just right into this big hole where the chain 2 space is. I'm going to do 2 double crochets. There's 1. There's 2. Now I'm going to chain 2. And then I'm going to put 2 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. There we go. Now I'm going to continue down the row in my next double crochet right here. I'm going to go all the way down until I get to the last stitch right here. In the last stitch, we want to do the same thing that we did in the first stitch of the row, which was 2 double crochets in the same spot. And there you have it. So we started with 2 double crochets together, double crochet, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all in that top 2 chain spot. Then we moved on and we did 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets together in the last spot. Now, every row after this is going to be the same. I will turn my work. I'm going to start my row with 2 double crochets into the same spot. So I'll start with my stacked single crochet. That counts as my first double. I'm going to put another double right in that same spot. There we go. Now I'm going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way along until I get to my chain 2 spot right there. There we go. So you should have done 5. Now in our chain 2 spot, we are going to make a corner. So I am going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets, and all of that is inside of the chain 2 spot. Now we'll continue with our double crochets down this side until we get to the last stitch. Same as this side, it should be 5. In the last stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets together. There we go. And that is the end of row number 3. So every row is going to be the same. You're going to start with 2 double crochets together, work your way up. In the corner or the top of your triangle, we are going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, work your way down the other side. And in the last stitch here, you're going to have 2 double crochets in the same spot. Every time you are working this, make sure it is symmetrical so you have the same number of stitches on both sides. And yeah, basically just keep going. I am going to do a total of 11 rows. Once I get there, I will measure it, make sure we're kind of on the same track. But you can make this as big or as small as you like. I'm going to go ahead and do 11 rows, so I need 8 more, and I will meet you back here. All right, we're back after 11 rows. Here it is. Now let's measure it. I'm going across the bottom, which measures the width. It is just about the length of my ruler, which happens to be 12.5 inches. There's that. And then if we want to measure the length from here to here, that measures about 7.5 inches. Anyway, moving on from here, we are going to do some picots around the edge. So to do that, I've turned my work. In the first stitch, I'm going to do a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 3. And to do a picot, we're going to do a slip stitch back into our first single crochet that we did. So I'm going to go through the top and the front leg like that. Front loop on the top and front loop on the leg. Okay, now I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to do a slip stitch, so pull through both of those and also the last loop on your hook, and that will create this little bump, and that is called a picot. So I'm going to do 3 single crochets in between my picots. From here I will just continue right into the next stitch, do a single crochet, do 2 more so that I have 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do another picot, so I will chain 3, do a slip stitch into the front of the single crochet, and this is just going to repeat until we get closer to the top of the triangle. So I'll do 3 single crochets, chain 3, slip stitch to make my picot, and continue. Coming close to the top of our triangle, if you did the same amount of rows as me and you got all your stitches correctly, then you should have 2 double crochets left before our chain 2 space. So I'm just going to go ahead and do those 2 single crochets in those 2 stitches. In our chain 2 space, what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to chain 3 and do your slip stitch to create a picot. And then you're going to do 1 more single crochet in the chain space, and then that just creates a little picot that sticks right out the top there. And then we will continue making picots back down the other side. So to make this symmetrical with the other side, we're going to do a single crochet into the first 2 double crochets, and then we will chain 3, slip stitch to create your picot. Next, we're going to do 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches, and we'll continue making picots all the way down with 3 single crochets in between each one. After you've done your last picot, you should have 1 stitch left, just like we did at the beginning. So I'll do my last single crochet right in there. And then here is what the edging looks like. From here, I'm going to turn my bandana so that I can do a row of single crochet across the bottom here. So generally, whenever you're doing single crochets across the sides of double crochets, you want to do a single crochet at the joint of every row and then on the double crochet of every row, if that kind of makes sense. So this little hole right here is in between our rows. So I'll put a single crochet in there. And then now I'm in the middle of the double crochet row, so I want to put a single crochet just like around the double crochet. Do it around the whole thing. Next, we're at a joint, spot, so I will put it in this little hole right here. And then we're in the middle of the row, so I'll go around the whole double crochet and just repeat that all the way across. While we're doing this, I am crocheting over this little end that I had from when we started with the chain 2. Okay, I single crocheted all the way across, so now I'm going to cut off my yarn. Now from here we are going to make the strap, so I'm going to make a slip knot with my yarn, put it on my hook, and then I'm going to start a chain. I usually do about 75 chains, so I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, after that's done, we have one side of our strap. So then we're going to start here. We're going to single crochet all the way across the bottom here. Once we get to the other side, we will chain 75 again, and that will create the other side of your strap. Right, so I'm just going to start right in my first single crochet. And I'll do another single crochet on top of it and single crochet all the way across in every stitch. Okay, now at the other end, go ahead and chain the same amount that you did on the first one, which is 75, to make it match up. Okay, after you've done that, go ahead and cut your yarn off. I'll just pull it straight out like this. And we're going to do some finishing touches. So on the ends of your straps, what I like to do is I take my leftover yarn and I fold it down so that it lines up with the chain like this. And then from here, I want to tie a knot as close to the end of the string as you can, pretty much. So just tie a knot and tighten it down, just like right on the end here. And then I'll pull it as tight as possible. After you've done that, you tied a knot on your chain and your loose end. So your loose end is secure now. You can go ahead and cut it off. Get rid of it. And I'll do that to the other side as well. And then last but not least, we should have one end to weave in. So I'll take my yarn needle, thread it up, turn it towards the back side, and weave my end in. Okay, that's good enough. I'll cut off the rest. And then you should have a fully finished bandana. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. This is pretty simple and it is really cute. So if you make your own and you post it, please tag me. Let people know where you found the tutorial. And good luck with all of your bandana making adventures. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.